Okay, so what I'm doing here is I'm setting my guides. First I set a guide in the middle, and around both pages I'm creating half-inch margins. Now I'm going to find the golden section and I'm transforming it, making it larger so that I can use the golden section to kind of divide up my page. And I'm dividing it in two places. You'll see why in just a second. So now I'm going to Pixabay to find public domain images for my magazine spread. And I found this nice picture of a stump that's going to be my main picture on the first page. So now I'm resizing it a little bit and then trimming off that edge so that it doesn't bleed out over the margins. I'm adjusting the colors a little bit and the sharpness of the image. Now I'm creating just kind of a yellow bar on the side there, in line with some of the divisions that I made based on the golden section. Now I'm typing and I'm adjusting my font size as well as my kerning and leading. And this is going to take me a while to experiment with it to get it to look the way I want it to. Keep in mind this video is sped up to be 8 times faster than it really happened, so that actually took me quite a while to experiment with it. Now I'm going and getting lorem ipsum text. The only thing that actually has to be typed out by you are the like the titles and the headings. The body text can be just lorem ipsum text, which is a dummy text, and we'll talk about that more later. So on the first page I'm just doing a single column because it's not going to be too long. You're still going to be able to read it. The text isn't going to go all the way across the page. So here I'm just making the text fit like I want it to. And again, that's dummy text. It doesn't really say anything at all. It's just made to look like actual text. And so I've duplicated that yellow bar and I've turned it sideways and I've dragged it across the whole page. I just wanted something to connect both of the pages. Now, an important thing to notice is that my title text is some kind of really bold Helvetica, and my body text is some kind of Arial. I don't remember exactly which one, but the point is that you want to use a different text for, or a different typeface for your headings than you do for your body text. And that's one of the things, that's one of the technical requirements. Another technical requirement is that the entire thing needs to be 17 by 11. So 17 by 11 is basically two 8.5 by 11 pages put together. And what I'm doing right now with the calculator is I'm using a calculator to make sure that I'm equally spacing those margins on the second page and equally spacing the columns so that all the columns have the same width and both the margins have the same width. Now I'm finding some additional images to bring into my second page. I'm putting them where I want them at the size I want them and then deleting the excess. So I've got kind of 3 topics on the second page that I want to do, and I'm trying to find an image for each one. And this is taking a while. These are all taken off of Pixabay. They're public domain. I will not get in trouble even if I was using this for some kind of commercial purposes. I won't get in trouble for using these images because they're in the public domain. And the permissions with them allow you to use them for basically any purpose. And all I'm doing here is adjusting some of the effects on this picture and desaturating it. Now I'm playing with adding a little bit of ambient color to it. I ended up getting rid of this color treatment. It just didn't end up looking right with the other pictures. I'm doing the same thing there that I did with the other picture. Now with those yellow bars, I played around with the layer style so that I could get them to kind of overlay. I don't think I used the overlay a layer layer style. I think I used like a soft light or something else. I can't remember exactly what it was, but I wanted you to be able to see through the yellow to the pictures behind. And now I'm just looking for that final picture. This actually took me quite a while. Now in this assignment, you need to have at least 3 images, and they can be public domain pictures, they can be graphics or illustrations that you create in Photoshop. You really have a lot of free range as far as what you do with your images, but you need to have at least 3 images. And in this one, in this example, I have 4. And notice that all the pictures have the same height. Notice the alignment between the picture on the first page and the 3 pictures on the right page. Now the pictures don't have to be the same size, but the last time I told you guys that, you went out of your way to make sure the pictures weren't the same size, and that's not what I'm going for. I'm just trying to give you guys options. I just want you guys to have the freedom to create the kind of designs that you want to create. I do want to make sure that you are considering things like alignment and emphasis and harmony in everything that you're doing. And now here I'm putting the titles on top of the pictures for the paragraphs that are going to go below them. And this took me a while to experiment with it as well, experimenting with whether I was going to do center, left, or right aligned, or where I was going to place it. I wanted to place it on top of the yellow bar just because I knew that was going to help it stand out. And that's what I ended up sticking with, was a left aligned kind of at the bottom of that yellow bar. And right there, I just made sure that I was aligning my text on the right-hand side of the page with the text on the left-hand side of the page. That's not always necessary, but that's what I decided to do here. And then my final step is to just go and copy some of that lorem ipsum and adjust it a little bit so that it didn't look the same in every column. But I was basically just using the same dummy text in all of the columns and just kind of playing with where I put my paragraph breaks so that it didn't look exactly the same. Because in a real layout, it's not going to look exactly the same. And then lastly, the last thing I did was I made the text on the far right column a little bit shorter so that I could add a page number. And my page number in font matched the heading font. And that's not completely required, but I felt like since it wasn't body text, it was good to make it be a different typeface than the body text. And anyway, that's my example for you guys of the assignment, and I hope that really helps you guys get started. A lot of the things that you saw me really experimenting with and taking time to change and to modify, a lot of that stuff should be done at home while you're planning out your projects, like finding the images that you want to use and sketching out your layout and your alignment. A lot of that stuff should be done at home so that when you come to class, you can just get started on building it and you don't have to do as much experimentation. I still expect you to have to do some experimentation, um, but hopefully not too much. Hopefully you guys will find the time over Thanksgiving break to really make this, really use your time wisely to get some planning done so that you have all the time you need in class to actually create your magazine spread.